Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, and I want to talk about why Trafalgar Law is still alive. One of the reasons I think Trafalgar Law is still alive is because obviously we know for a fact that his fruit is basically like technically the most OP fruit. For a different reason than why Luffy's is OP. He's is OP because he can grant somebody else eternal life. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a doctor, and that's what his fruit does. It gives eternal life, but it sacrifices his own life in return. And why I think he's alive is because obviously I think Tiak would want this. You know what I'm saying? Or Blackbeard would obviously want this for himself so that he can be unbeatable. But you have to force Law to do it, or convince him to do it, or mind control him to do it. And as far as we know, every member of his team has a devil fruit, so he can't give it to nobody else. We know that he has two devil fruits that we've seen so far, and we know that there's supposed to be a third because, again, there's more than one of them, as we learned chapters in like hundreds of chapters ago. Which is really, really good on Oda's part. He really had that set in mind, and Luffy and Zoro both are aware of it. So I'm surprised that nobody else seems to be aware of it. Which is intriguing here because nobody else has talked about it since. So I suppose we're expecting Oda to eventually bring it up. But yeah, so that's what I think. I think Law will survive because they need him to use the fruit and nobody else can use it. And I don't think Blackbeard is going to sacrifice another body, you know what I'm saying? Or another soul or another whatever that he has that makes him be able to use as many devil fruits as he does. Because I think, if he has three minds or three souls or three bodies or whatever in one, which makes sense, which is kind of how he doesn't sleep. He never sleeps, and he's been hiding his true strength for years and years because before he had two devil fruits, we know he scarred. We know that he scarred Shanks, and we've seen how strong Shanks is. So we know for him to scar Shanks, he must have been on some crazy levels. So he's always acting, begging for forgiveness, and showing out like even against Law. He doesn't want to show all these cards. He doesn't want to show what he can do. Again, he's like 40. He's about the same age as Shanks. He's been around. You know what I'm saying? He's planned this for a very, 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 very long time. So he's used to acting weak. But I think he's been learning and leveling up while keeping his haki contained and his powers contained. We know for a fact he's way more haki than he shows, and he's way stronger than he shows. Again, he fought Shanks and he didn't die. And he came out of it. Then remember, he fought Ace. Ace was a beast. We forget that, but Ace was an absolute beast. He fought, defeated, and dragged him to the Marine Corps. This dude Blackbeard is not showing us most of his powers. You know what I'm saying? And I think one of the reasons is I think he wants to get all three devil fruits and then use that as an excuse to why he's so strong. Right? But I think he's definitely hiding shit. But again, I think Trafalgar Law here, I think he's been made too important because the Wano arc lasted like 4 years, and Trafalgar Law has been pivotal for not just that arc, but the previous arc with Doflamingo. He's been pivotal to the story for the past 5-6 years straight. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see him just dying like that. You know what I'm saying? Oda tends to do his deaths well. So I don't think he's going to screw up somebody as major as Trafalgar Law by not showing us his death. I think we're going to see what happened. I think Law may have escaped, realizing that his crew is in danger, because I think Law has no problem with dying or losing or whatever, but he does not want his crewmates to die. He's the same as Luffy in that sense, you know what I'm saying? And Zoro. They'll both give up their lives, but they will not let nobody else die. That's their agenda. That's the way. You know what I'm saying? That's the way of the D, right? So I think that's where kind of we're at when it comes to Law here. So my prediction in the next chapter is we go back and see the fight between Law and Blackbeard and how Blackbeard ended up there. Law escapes or teams up with Blackbeard. Because again, remember, Oda's initial plan was to make Law evil, right? But people liked him so much, and I think Oda himself ended up liking him so much that he decided not to make him pure evil. And even when we meet him in Punk Hazard, we see that it seems like he's pure evil, but it turns out that he's not. He's been using it because he wants to get rid of Doflamingo and then get rid of what was his name? What's the dragon's name? How am I forgetting the dragon? Luffy versus Kaido, right? And get rid of Kaido. So we know that this guy is well thought out. He thinks ahead. I think there's no way he didn't predict that Blackbeard or somebody would be out there. Shanks predicted it, and Law has been showcasing hella smarts. Without his planning in Wano, we don't succeed in Wano, right? He planned so many things. He's the mastermind behind even the incident that made our boy the hero what's his name? Why am I forgetting names all of a sudden? I'm pretty tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm also on holidays, guys. So forgive me a little bit if you know what I'm saying, if it takes me a second to like generate my my usual, what I'm saying, free flow speaking ways. But yeah, so I think that the next chapter is going to showcase us some of that. But I just think in general that wait 2 seconds. The new Sabo, is it Sabo? Kobe the hero. He's the new most important character for when it comes to Garp. The Garp was willing to risk his life for him because he feels that this guy is the future of Marines because he's really about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's why I think Trafalgar Law will survive. Because I think Oda likes him, the fans love him, and we have to see, like, him dying now in this way would seem a bit, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think he's keeping it a secret as well. I think he's trying to figure out if he should kill him, and if he's going to do it, how he should do it, and what ripple effect would that have in the story. I think him dying wouldn't make sense because we never find out, we won't see the impact of the Straw Hats finding out that he's a D, because Robin will not spill his secret. Robin is the only one that knows that Trafalgar Law is a D. So I don't see him spilling those beans on that. So it doesn't really add up for him to die now before we get that information. I don't know if people know that Blackbeard is a D, but he does say his name D, so they probably do. But nobody, I think people think he's a fake D. He's not a true D, right? So it'd be great to find out about Blackbeard as well, because for the past 1,000 chapters, we really don't know much about him, which is fine. I think mystery is fine, but we also don't know much about Shanks. We don't know much about a lot of characters. We do know a lot about Law, though. That's why we like Law. So yeah, I don't think Law is dead. I think if he's going to die, it's probably going to be while helping Luffy and them. I think he'll be in a more central role type of position rather than a side story. Because Ace was already killed in a side story. Sabo allegedly has been killed in a side story, but we all kind of think he's alive. And Sabo dying would be, I think, not good for the story. Because he took Ace's fruit. He just took it, went out to the Celestial Dragons, and he's dead. He just came back. I don't know, he came back years ago in real time, but story pacing wise, it's not that long ago. So I don't know. Depends on what you guys think. But yeah, do you guys think Law is dead? Do you guys think Sabo is dead? And do you guys think Kobe will play a more pivotal role in the story than we think? I actually think Kobe will play a much larger role than we've been thinking, because remember, he's been there. Luffy met him before he met Zoro, right? He met him way, way, way back. You know what I'm saying? And then occasionally we get an update, and Kobe awakened his haki during the arc where they're trying to save Ace. You know what I'm saying? During that Marineford war battle thingy. So, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's been your boy, Supreme Uchiha the God. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think. Is Trafalgar Law dead or alive? You know what I'm saying? I'm out. Subscribe.